Shalom and shalom on the stuff. Souls by giving no praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Hashem, God, Kodash. That belongs to the apostles of GMS and honors to brothers doing the work, the most on truth and sincerity. This is a quick one just on, the fact that these numbers just don't add up, man. Which further proves that this man, he's on a mission to basically collapse this society and to bring about his new world order. So this is on the Times. You can see the headline there. The Times isn't free, so would you call it? Can't really click into it like that. So it says average age of coronavirus fatalities is 82, right? And this is in the UK. So the average age of those who have died from coronavirus in England and Wales since the start of the pandemic is 82.4 years. And then you look into what the UK life expectancy actually is 81.16 years. So the average age of the people that have died from this coronavirus, whatever, is actually above the life expectancy. They've already outlived the life expectancy for the United Kingdom. So it should then make anyone having a look just stop and think, wait, hang about then. So what's with everything that's been happening? Now we know because scripture says, this is 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not, starting with the apostles on down, we're not ignorant of what's going on. We're not ignorant of the witchcraft that he's pushing on the people, by way of these statistics, by way of these news channels, by way of these supposed two different points of view. We understand that this man is getting ready to shut down this kingdom. And these people, man, they're sleepwalking to their own demise. They're masking their ways to their own demise, man. This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And how does Esau know he's got a short time? Because once again, it started off with the apostles and their teachers before them way back when. But Esau's been slowly seeing and watching Ezekiel 37 come to pass. He's been seeing the breath coming back into the children of Israel. He's been seeing that stick becoming one. He's been seeing the Israelite foreigners waking up. And he's basically seeing on one side, oh snap, yo, these Israelites are waking up. So now he's basically being pushed into a corner. And as what's that saying? When you certain animals, they say when you back them into, when they're wounded, that's when they're more dangerous, right? Now Esau's gonna start showing his horns, man. Now we've already known those horns are there, but for the most part, he's been trying to hide under the guise of being this philanthropist. But no, this is all coming to an end. So I'll read that again. So therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, and the word devil means deceiver, is come down unto you, having great wrath. And he's going to show his wrath. He's going to show that he's the devil. There are people that come up against the apostles, come up against the elders, come up against all the archim. Why are you calling the so-called white man the devil? He's going to show you himself. Right? Why is he doing this? Because he knows he hath but a short time. Right? So he in the spirit, we know in the spirit that our salvation is close, as Romans 13:11 says, and that knowing the time that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. Right? So to come out of slumber, to come out of to come out of this world spiritually, right? To get into the understanding of these scriptures. Says, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. So this was true back then, and it's significantly more true right now in these times that we're living in, because we're seeing everything that's coming to pass. We're seeing the fulfillment of prophecy, and we're seeing Esau start doing dumb stuff. because everything that he's saying is contradicting. He's talking about, oh, we want to save lives, but okay, when these guys were complaining that they didn't with the winter fuel allowance, right? Pensioners dying or whatever, pensioners struggling to pay their fuel bill of gas and electric over the winter. Where was your care about people dying then? Now we know this man isn't about people dying. In fact, he's all for it. Let me grab this real quick. It says Habakkuk 2 and 4, which says this. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Not what I wanted. But it's lucky, yeah? So behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. That's Esau. His soul isn't right. He's got a different soul. Soul. He's got a different spirit. You read that in Genesis 25th chapter. Behold, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people. And one of those things we're gonna read into one reason why he's not upright. His spirit ain't right. Is the fact that he is of death. Whereas we were commanded, be fruitful and multiply. What's Esau trying to do? Esau's trying to kill the people, right? It says, but the just shall live by his faith, and that's referring. That second part is referring to the Israelites, right? It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. This is his philosophies. He is a proud man, right? Who's more proud than Esau as a group of people? It says, neither keepeth at home. He's got military bases all over the world. It says, and is as death and cannot be satisfied, right? But gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. That's talking about his metropolises. So this man is as death, right? Uh, uh, but yeah, so we're gonna find out that's his true spirit, man. But we're watching and praying, and we can see the times that we're in. This is Sirach 39. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. And that's what we try to do to the best of our abilities, right? To be constantly watching and praying and seeing what's going on around the world, seeing how it links up with prophecy, looking for key buzzwords. Esau with his algorithm, he looks for key buzzwords and what videos to block. Now we're doing the same thing. We're looking at key buzzwords on what videos to make. In certain things, we look up and say, yo, what's this article about? It says, we'll seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecy. So we'll be, reading the scriptures and, filtering everything that's happening at every day-to-day event through the scriptures, right? Let me grab this as well. It says Ezekiel 21 and 9. It says, son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. Say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. So furbished going into polished. And Esau's blessing is the sword. And the sword doesn't just mean a sword. Doesn't mean a gun. Right? A sword represents any killing instrument. And what Esau's doing right now, he's perfecting all of his killing instruments. He's perfecting his bioweapons. He's perfecting his kenneling, for example. Basically what you're seeing now of all of these lockdowns, right? He's trialed national lockdowns. Okay, cool, that works. Now he's doing a lot of in England, doing a lot of local lockdowns, saying, okay, cool, that works, whatever, what have you. What then are people gonna start doing? Right? Esau's basically saying, oh, if your neighbor has guests, too many guests, snitch on them and you get a payment, right? And we can grab that in Second Ezra's 15 soon. And also you have which scriptures where it says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And that's another thing that Esau's doing, basically getting the people to fight one against another. And that's that psychology that he has. So that psychology to basically turn the people against each other. That's a way of killing the people. He's bioweapons. That's a way of killing people. Hey, these famines that he's manufacturing at the moment, right? All of these, he's basically made it such that people live in these mega cities. Got almost 10 million people in London, right? And hardly any of them have have a garden, well, a garden big enough to be growing food that's going to sustain their family for an extended period of time. He's basically made the people completely dependent on him so that if there is food insecurity, guess what? He's the only one with the answer. So I'll read that against the Son of Man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. All right. So polish basically means being perfected. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? Yes. So should we be in a spirit of jollity? No. Right. It says just go and party and this, that, and the other all the damn time. No. Right. And that's why, for instance, even in these lockdowns, you've had all these people in the world. They ain't been able to do any of the things that their mirth things. Right. The Lord shut that all down. Right, it says, "It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree, and he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer." That's representing Esau, because it says blessing, right? Scriptures say, "The wicked, which is my sword." I believe that's in Proverbs. A crying howl, son of man, for it shall be upon my people, shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite them, smite therefore upon thy thigh. And this is because of the wickedness of the children of Israel. This is the punishment. Because through spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, where the apostles, they've been out there for ages, telling Jake to get right. Right, doing as they were commanded, as the scriptures say, uh, speak ye rough about speak ye to children of Israel and give them warning from me. And that's what they've been doing. And then, the elders came in, and, the brothers that you see now came in doing the exact same thing, following in those footsteps. But what have the children of Israel done? They fan their hand. They don't want to hear. Right? That's in Proverbs 1, something like 22 or something. Verse 24, Proverbs 1:24, because I have called and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof. So I also will laugh at your calamity. I'll mock when your fear cometh through the prophets. It says, when your fear cometh as a desolation, and when your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, diligently, but they shall not find me. So, because they've not taken heed while they've had the chance, scripture says, Isaiah 55, seek ye Yahweh while he may be found. Right now is the time. And the Lord made it such that all of these, major governments basically sort of made it so that people who lost jobs were able to get money for a period of time. So you had a load of jakes that were just at home making money, not doing any work, just at home making money. And in that time, what could they have been doing? They could have been studying, because they would have surely seen like, yo, this man shut the kingdom down. This man's shut everything down, right? And as we saw for those in those numbers, right, for no good reason. But we know what the good reason is. The good reason is to bring about this this new world order, right? Which, let's keep praying that this man doesn't slow down, that the Lord puts a spirit on this man to continue going in. So this is Revelation 13 and 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great. So all means literally all, both small and great. Your regular Joe to your famous person, rich and poor, exactly what it says on the tin, free and bond, so us able to walk around, and those in the prisons, right, to receive a mark. And the word there in the Greek for mark is charagma, right, which goes into an inserted a mark, right? An imprinted mark, something inserted, right? It says in their right hand or on their foreheads. Now you read Revelation 14 and 9, which gives you the judgment. Basically says, if you take the chip in your hands or in your foreheads. So God might be like, put it in your left hand, then you'll be okay. No, if you're taking the mark of the beast, you're basically proclaiming that Esau is your God, that you have faith in him. That's what it says in Isaiah 31, warn to them that go down to Egypt for help and trust not in Yahweh. Right? Taking this chip is going down to Egypt for help, man. Right? It says, in that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So without this mark of the beast, you won't be able to buy anything. Right? So if you can't buy, you can't. If you can't buy and you can't sell, where you going to live? What food are you going to eat? What water are you going to drink? And that's what we're seeing being prepared with this whole corona virus rubbish. Is Esau basically creating a situation where everyone will be dependent on him, so that when he then presents the mark of the beast, people will take it. And he will incentivize the people. Give you an example, speaking to a colleague, speaking about the vaccine, and I was like, hey, I ain't looking to take it, and he's like, yeah, man, I ain't taking it either. And then basically, what'd you call it? But then I was like, oh, but they're gonna try and make it mandatory for if you want to travel anywhere. And all of a sudden, guess what? His perception changed. All of a sudden, it went from I don't want to take the virus, so it went from I'm not taking the virus. I'm not taking the virus too. But I mean, no, okay, I might have to take it then. Right, so it means it shows that it's very easy to persuade these people. That's why he got them so, uh, uh so much to enjoy all of these different liberties and took them all away. He literally took all of their liberties away. People that loved to travel, he took it away. People that loved going restaurants, he took it away. People that every weekend they were at the football game, he took that away. At the NBA, he took that away. People who loved watching a cinema, he took that away. People who loved going to watch opera, musicals, he took all. Lord put the spirit on this man to take everything away from these people. They were just stuck at home. They could go to the park, but they couldn't meet their friends. Couldn't meet too many friends, right? They could go to Sainsbury's, but they had to queue up in line and wear those stupid face masks. They could do that, but in terms of the mirth, he took it all away, made them desperate, so that when he offers the solution, guess what people gonna do? They gonna take it, right? So, hey, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. These numbers speak for themselves. Average age of coronavirus fatalities is 82. Right, average life expectancy in the UK is 81. Right, rather life expectancy in the UK is 81.16 years. Right, so this man is doing a thing, man. Right, and if you can't see it, if you can't see it, you ain't gonna see it unless the Most High opens your eyes. So that is always what I was edifying. Till next time, Shalom.